been a slow start in voting today in Indonesia's elections, thanks to rain and storms overnight, which have flooded out a lot of ballot boxes in Jakarta, the capital. That could be a problem for the election's front-runner presidential candidate, Prabowo Subianto, who is relying on a big turnout in order to get himself the 50+% of the vote to avoid a second-round runoff in June. This will be the first election Indonesians have had in 15 years where they have the choice of more than 2 presidential candidates. And while the differences between those 3 candidates in policies are not that great, the 3 candidates themselves are miles apart.
Kalau dibilang dukung, ya kita sebagai warga terdukung. Tapi kalau kerjaannya sih, kalau dibuat kampung akuarium, belum kelihatan kerjanya.
Jakarta's governor, or former governor, Anies Baswedan, is popular here because of the capable job he did steering the capital through the pandemic years. But he makes some people nervous in Indonesia, particularly minority non-Muslim voters, because of his affiliations with Islamist groups. The second candidate, Ganjar Pranowo, has failed to ignite his party's base, that is the Indonesian Democratic Party of Struggle. It's the biggest party in Indonesia. He has struggled since outgoing President Jokowi switched allegiances from Ganjar to Prabowo Subianto, who is now running with Jokowi's son, Gibran Rakabuming Raka. Prabowo is a former military strongman with a poor human rights record who has previously spoken out against democracy and in favour of winding back direct elections here in Indonesia, which would be hugely unpopular with the people who continue to embrace democracy 26 years after the fall of Jakarta.
Ya mungkin karena warga udah cipu sama Pak Anies kali ya dari awal ya gitu ya, dari shelter sampai sekarang masih ada kontakan, masih ada hubungan ya, tetap nomor 1.
One strong man is not enough to overturn our democracy, which is at this point already matured enough to a point where there are checks and balances to make sure what happened 30 years ago, 40 years ago does not happen again.
Yes, he does have a background in the army as a general and everything, and yes, obviously he does have quite a history, but he's only doing what's best for this country.
On the other hand, he's Western educated. He's spoken out in favour of Australia's right to pursue security guarantees through AUKUS and may well take a stronger line against Chinese incursions in Indonesian waters as president.
I'm Indonesian, but yeah, I was born in Australia. But so I think honestly, I really do hope that in Australia and Indonesian ties were to get stronger. If Prabowo wins or whoever wins, I hope that the Indonesian and Australian ties do get stronger.
Whether Prabowo has managed to put the strong man to bed or just shelved it for the campaign is the million-dollar question, however, for Indonesians and all of its neighbours, including Australia.